Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to a 2 versus 2 on the Simoski, yes indeed. In the brownishness of Simoski, we shall be watching Terminator Soviets, and I feel pretty, oh so pretty, I imagine he'd write, if he could have a longer name. We're fighting here for the Germans, for the Reich. For the 7th Panzerdivision, going up here against Longjohns, Festivelongjohns specifically, and Tombkings, not the dull Longjohns, or the silly Longjohns, but the festive ones. Fighting here for the Soviet Union. And the 5th Mechanized Corps, we are noting here for Longjohns Advanced Warfare. Got motor and mechanized support facts, or guards, with Tombkings having gone straight on here for Advanced Warfare. Mr. Pretty has gone first in support, well, he has first in support elite troops and Jaeger armor. And Terminator Soviets, joint operations, fortified armor and Jaeger armor. Pulling back here to Festivelongjohns, constant support on the way. Scout here arriving for Festivelongjohns. Going in pretty aggressively there with the scout car, the M3A1. Pioneers sneaking up there, we're noting MGs and Grenadiers arriving en masse for the Germans, spreading a bit here and there. But looks like Longjohns will start out with a rather mobile role on the battlefield, likely try and throw back his opponents a bit. Cause a bit of harm, mayhem, and destruction. Rushing along the paths, crashing through fences. Like a hooligan of the Soviet army. Oda! Nego going to get sport here out in open road by the 50 caliber mounted there. Not good there for the Grenadiers. Quickly see them pulling back around the corner. Festivelongjohns does not beat in with the hasty pursuit as they could have been waiting around the corner with our Panzerfaust, which generally never ends well for the scout car. But he continues in, very aggressive there with the scout car. Further harassment, further scouting, trying to map out his opponent's position, of course, and also just be an utter pain in the arse. Constant support here being caught out in the open, versus Grenadiers taking up position in the hedgerows, gaining light cover, thus being a bit harder to hit. Carts is falling back there across the road, a quick hoorah into the safety of the house.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Scout car there slightly pulling back again. Engineers also taking up position in the house. Pioneers moving in to support the Grenadiers. With another Grenadier squad moving in, we are seeing here. Meanwhile, the Terminator taking up position here. Pioneers acting as a delaying force, but ultimately are pushed back here by Russian advances. Grenadiers trying to flank in from the other side. Conscript there covering up the rear. Sniper on the way here for Festivelongjohns. Some support weapons right now could be nice here for I Feel Pretty. An MG42 is in fact on the way. A mortar could have been useful in blowing out the Russians from the hidey holes inside the farm buildings. And it's dying their best, but up close over the conscripts. And then again, with only part of the spot firing, the Grenadiers could gain an advantage since they're all shooting there. But no. There we go, and something being a retreat there. Trying to quickly clear up things up there while the Grenadier squad then gets hunted down here, looking a bit grim. 2 MG42s there, but it looks like Terminator so staying up for a pretty defensive position here. Lots of conscripts moving straight into the MG5, trying to ooh-rah, and realising that ooh-rahing through bullets is perhaps not as effective as usual. In fact, both MGs now firing up. Slight mistake here, though. He's actually leaving his flank open here, extremely open. So there's a slight chance here the scout could have rushed in, but so far Festivelongjohns seems more occupied, though, with I Feel Pretty. Perhaps jealous of his self-confidence. In his beauty, I don't know. We shall probably never know. Might also be the fact that he's fighting him, you know. Anyways, we're seeing also a pretty bold harassment move there from Tombkings. Pushing in there. Mortar arriving here for I Feel Pretty, a Granatenwerfer. MG42 holding up there. 2 snipers on the way here. For Festivelongjohns, still got an infantry force, the scout car, so he clearly seems to be playing for a smaller, lighter, more nimbler and harder hitting force here. Nothing wrong in that, as long as that has some infantry and just starts spamming snipers. But MG42 holding up here, conscripts sneak about on the flanks, but trying to outmaneuver the MG42. We are noting here that Terminator Soviets forces are a bit exposed, and almost feels like he might have lost another Grenadier already. Or perhaps just went too heavy on the support units. But right now this MD-42 is in a very high risk of being interred within the cemetery. If he's not careful, snipers here plinking away with a scoped motion in their guns. Sniping down the Germans, because they need to fall back. Zurückfallen. Another MD-42 moving up again, need to be careful. I mean, Terminator is playing some rather not my suggested kind of game. Again, you know, bold, aggressive play with the MD-42, but again, without knowing where it's going. In this case, he knew there was infantry there, so why he would send his MD-42 in like that is not, you know, very clear to me, as generally that's really the sort of position where the MD-42 fares the least best. Gun one dealing here, supporting. Looks like he was actually had to reload. Mortar crew needs to fall back. There we go, the MD-42 firing a few shots, taking a nice bit of damage to the scout car, except it can't seem to hit. Sniper caught there out in the open. None of these needs to be careful, the two snipers around. Come on, I feel pretty. Don't be daft. But overall, we are seeing here that Tombkings has been having pretty good success due to the fact that, again, that he's not sending his MD-42s in a very sensible manner. At the very least, he should be leapfrogging them, not just moving about like that, which is overall only helpful to his opponent, with much larger infantry forces available. But there we go. Constantly moving across the bridge, getting caught in a veritable hailstorm of bullets as bunkers and regular heavy machine guns fire away. And there we go, we are seeing mechanized support here for Festivelongjohns, and we are noting here a Guard 5 squad has arrived. They could be equipped with a DPs, also known as the record player, due to the rather particular magazine mounted on top. A not very common design from what I believe. Though some other few machine guns in that period might have used it. But overall the German start is a bit not good here. Festivelongjohns having success with his rather aggressive play, whereas Terminator is to a certain extent failing due to his not so strong handling initially of the support weapons. Snipers are hanging out, really doing a lot of damage to the MGs, need to pull that one back. Then again with the two mortars, he might be hoping to bait them a bit, hoping catching them there with a series of mortar rounds. Then again the snipers seem a bit quick to fall back. Lots of mortar rounds going in there. Quick rough grenade there. Always a measure to try and catch snipers to a player who's perhaps less strong on with his fingers, but no, not this time around. We also need an early fuel cache. Perhaps the Germans are opting for some rushing of armor here in the hopes of turning things around. MD-42 firing here from behind the fences, catching one country squad. Can they catch the snipers at the same time? Festivelongjohns here is perhaps being a bit too bold as well. He's got both snipers close to each other, despite knowing there are two mortars there, firing rather aggressively. Then again, not looking too good there, and we're seeing them being forced away. Quick Molotov.
Tell us what you need. Snipers, you have orders?
Troops are reinforcing, rebuilding. Like to make a nice company up there. A scout car could well be on the way. And there we go. More Guard 5 squads arriving here for Festivelongjohns. In fact, it's time to pin over to Tombkings for some time. My apologies there. Support them Campania, and we're noting here maximum arriving for Tombkings. Scout car being a bit careful. Then again, if you can catch the snipers here, he could have a huge opportunity. There we go. Oh dear, Festivelongjohns might be in a world of hurt here. He did not expect this, it would seem. There go one sniper team down. He might lose the other one. No, didn't quite there. Scout car tore through the rear there with a 50 caliber. That was damn close. They could have lost both sniper squads. That would definitely have been a massive victory there for the Germans. But looks like that was not the case. We also knowing his support armor caught up for Terminator Soviets, but still. Clearing out that many snipers, so 3 snipers including one squad, that early on can still be a small advantage. That's definitely going to hurt Festivelongjohns on the other hand. So there might be a slight chance of the Germans breaking up if they pull this through properly. But it needs to be happening rather quickly. And rather decisively.
Our PPSHs are here. Now even Yuri can hit something.
Noting, by the way, not an awful lot of mines going on here from the Russians. Huntsky squad there pushed away, making a break through a gap in the fences. Noting again, though, your troops are less accurate when moving. and generally more accurate when standing still. So it's sort of at least with rifles, so sort of there you want to sort of, you know, judge it correctly so you get the most out of it. Lots of constantly being equipped with submachine guns. Question is, will you upgrade every one of them or just a certain part of it? But again, we find here that he's a bit more exposed again. Gonna be easy doing what they can, but he might see the multiple go. They somehow escaped all of this. With the guard squad holding things up there. Over to Mr. Pretty. Getting some panzers out on the way, and he's also seeing here Pack 40 ready. Perhaps expecting some enemy armor.
We have secured this sector. We are forced to be reckoned with now. Grenadier!
Germans, though, making their way back. Slowly, but lightly, surely, and looks like a mine went off here. And now the Pioneers might end up getting roasted.
We have been assigned fresh
Maxim covering the central victory point there nicely. Pack 40 still creeping up home to maybe catch that scout cut by the way. Veterans too. Definitely nasty. Communists need to fall back or at least get into the ditch. They're out in the open and thus pretty exposed. There goes scout going. Oh, lucky engineers there. Looks like only one poor sot paid with his life. And that, comrades, is why you wear seatbelts. No, wait, it's not. Otherwise, we've been dead. Quickly merging there. That's a nice maneuver there. Ensuring the Maxim doesn't have to pull back. Very nice. M42 point coming. He's likely going to try and pop up a Molotov there on the Grenadiers on Terminator search troops. Snipers continue to snipe here. Guards doing what they can as well. A bit exposed position. He's pushing a bit aggressively here, but no. Another, but a bit too obvious attempt at getting the sniper team. You have to be careful of that as well. Motivating forward. Pioneers could perhaps try and to have something. Grenadiers need to fall back. The ND as well might begin considering getting the devil out of there. Position is quickly falling apart. Another push for the fuel point. Lovely job there. Russians pushing into the center. The German position there as well. Not good. No sign of enemy armor there. Could be aiming for a Panzer IV, though a flak Panzer right now could also be quite handy. Also noting no commander so far, I feel pretty.
The enemy has clipped a wedge in our lines. The enemy is taking our territory.
Panzer gunners here, not engaging so far. Apparently waiting there to get a bit closer, and there we go. Moving in, charging in. Making the way through things. Guardsmen there taking heavy losses. Engineers go down to commit to finish the mines. And there we go. A quick rush there turns the tide, at least mildly. But again, they need to swiftly get back and into the fight. And they also need to consider laying down some mines here and there to sort of stop the Inferno from advancing too far. Looks like he managed a small wipe here. The Panzer gun is wiping out some poor sort.
Pioneers here.
7th Panzer Division struggling a bit. More guardsmen arriving. Mortar fire going in there.
Mortar team awaiting orders.
Territory taken. Push yes.
Guardsmen in there coming out of fire from the Panzer gunners and the Sturmgewehrs.
We have 300 points remaining.
Ready.
Points are definitely ticking against the Germans, and Panzer IV there arriving. So we'll be seeing a pinch of my machine gun. That would definitely be a good idea, I think. But certain help versus all the infantry they're currently facing. And we're noting a support bomb company also up for Festivelongjohns, getting Maxims and field guns of his own as well. Looks like the soldiers are getting a bit more on the defense and are at least sort of propping up with heavier support weapons. We'll have to see. And massive counterattack streaming into the center here. These need to fall back or at least into cover. Panzer not moving up, mortar firing. Where's the MG42? Where's anything? Smaller force putting down there. MG42 there, but flank exposed. Should consider laying down some S-mines around here. Bit too late there. Panzer IV taking hits there from the Panzer IV. None of these need to fall back. This is quickly turning into another disaster here for Terminator Soviets. Rather repeatedly not securing the flanks. He needs to be bloody careful with that. Panzer Grenadier squad number 2 here with Panzer checks. The other squad needs to pull back, or at least over here to this bunker, which could be a command bunker. That would definitely help them. Looks like he's sitting around for a defense around here. Small penetration here, but could easily then be ousted by these larger forces available already here from Tombkings. And popping over here to Terminator Soviets. Panzer Grenadier with Panzerich Assault. Again, not necessarily the best troops for conducting an assault with. Just saying. Because they're rather lacking in anti-infantry firepower. But there we go, mortar going off. Then he's flanking in as well, or he's trying to. Panzer IV direct repairs. We know here a lot of machine guns there arriving for Terminator Soviets. That seems a bit excessive to me. Considering he's already barely got any infantry. He could also consider getting an officer that would help his other troops with his combat boosting abilities.
MG42 team is ready for action.
But let's wait to see what he does. Also knowing here that Tombkings is flooding the resource, then getting him up being for some T-3045s. There will still be a bit of time off before that.
That's everyone. Grenadiers ready.
Advancing. Again and again, Snarby continues to lay down the pressure. He could also miss the Terminator, so be saving up for, say, something like a howitzer. That could provide them a bit of an extra boost, actually, with a bit of artillery.
The bunker has been approved with an MG42.
Still 3 MG42s. Does seem a bit excessive to me. Another assault here, which results in an awful lot of bullets and a lot of men being cut down, unsurprisingly. Fugen Higgin caught on the middle of the road, and he is firing away the lightest machine gun. Fire, Fritz, fire! There we go. But getting caught here by the Maxim in the nearby house. Troops going down left and right. Grenadier squads pushing ahead a bit too boldly, I think. Need to fall back, particularly before that house collapses. Troops reinforcing. Command bunker up there, that's good, that is good. Nice to see the command bunker, by the way. It is something that could see a lot more usage. It is certainly not half bad.
Bastards are trying to flank us!
More MD42s here. I think he needs to push a bit harder with them. Particularly now he's got one covering here. He could have one up here maybe, and then one up here. But at the same time he needs to be careful there. We do see some enemy mortars arriving here from Tombkings. Looks like he's trying to barrage the bunker out of existence. He could try and flank with a Panzer IV from here actually. Try and clear that out. That might work. Noting a second support armor core there for I Feel Pretty. Engineers trying to mine up the road here, but instead getting caught by the MG42. The losses are excruciating for the Russians in this.
How can we help? Enemy infantry has made contact.
A bit of an advance here, but straight into a Maxim, resulting already one squad pinned down. And of course support non-existent. Mortars, MG42 could at least move forward. Sandbags going up there. Nice job there for Festivelongjohns. Building up for a more defensive position, but taking mortar fire there. Troops getting utterly pinned down. Now the assault here has utterly stalled. Forced to pull back. Troops getting caught by the MG42.
Enemy contact! Yes!
Conscript flanking about there. Nice, nice. A lot of resources being further here. He could set up some houses now, but he should begin spending some of those resources. Houses would be nice, but otherwise, you know, some tanks, some armor, another Panzer IV, Flak Panzer Stube. Each would have their advantage. The Stube would have more range, which could certainly help them as well. Either way, he should get around to it, and there we go. Lighter Feldhaube beats up. The more common howitzer in the German, well, any German division really. Troops getting caught by the MG42s, lots of fire, mortar fire going in as well. So many MGs, so many killed. Certainly this area would be a nice target for artillery fire. Panzer IV moving in. Needs to be careful, it does not expose itself too greatly. Pinned to my machine gun, by the way, could be an idea. Maxim holding up things there. lots of nasty mortar fire there. And you then easily fall back, pounding caught on fire there by Molotov, and it is time for the mid-game analysis. Germans are definitely a bit on the back foot. Tombkings, or Terminator, so to rather feel perhaps holding things back, but he's still the one doing the most damage, but at the same time, rather the one also retreating in most cases. So I know it feels a bit awkward there for me. And he's already got one MD42 down. But he's also at least doing some harassment over there, trying to regain some victory points out. That's definitely also another spot where they're a bit behind. The Surge in some parts are a bit more in the lead in terms of damage, even slightly in kills, at least compared to I Feel Pretty. With Tombkings, though, definitely the one perhaps not quite signing up as well compared to everything else. But then again, he's largely using conscripts, a few maxims and mortars. And he's probably also saving up again for those T-30-45, so he'll probably be a bit more before he sort of really begins hammering his way in. But for the Germans, they need to be a bit more aggressive, they need to be a bit more coherent, and need to get up a bit more sharper tactics. There does seem to be some slight gaps here and there. And Tombkings in particular, Terminator Soviets, rather has a bit of a sloppy play sometimes with the MD-40s. In fact, he's a bit too reliant on them, and they're also too quickly outmaneuvered. And he really needs to get some S-mines up here and there to sort of limit the opponent's maneuverability. Also, the idea would be to secure this field gun and maybe this mortar, adding more to the arsenal. More armor would also be an idea. A Panzer IV, maybe a Stug. For different reasons. Again, the Panzer IV would be more slugging out, but at the same time the Stug would have the advantage. It would be a bit safer due to the longer range and would also be able to punish the enemy infantry quite nicely. So either could in fact work out. This Panzer IV needs to be repaired as well. But, you know, one thing could be get two Panzer IVs, drive them up here, drive them further up here, and then hit the enemy positions from here. That might in fact be possible, in particular if the opponent has anything that's a bit too slow to react, then they might be able to catch everything here in a bit of a nasty position. Then again, also, another possibility could actually be using a howitzer in support of this, call in some air reconnaissance first, target the howitzers, knock them out, and then send the Panzer IVs in to clean up, and perhaps even push the way all up here to this, getting the enemy fuel point in the process. I think that could be a very nice maneuver. So that would definitely be something to suggest. Otherwise, they need to build up, if they're not doing that, they need to build up more of a defensive core around here, set up some bunkers, set up some mines, and otherwise try to perhaps remove this slight bulge, which is currently acting in the lines of defense, and clear out the field guns. Now they're really a massive priority, and again, securing the enemy weapons, like here, could actually add to their defenses on top of everything else. Otherwise, some minor forces over here. I mean, they're not really having a lot going on here. So some smaller harassment teams maybe pulling up an MD-42 to set up here could help, because that would also decrease their frontage in some regards. Though they might want to cover this up, but still. Some thoughts there as well. Sort of help out the Germans. And I feel pretty needs to choose a commander. Considering their current situation, something like Festing support could have advantages. Then again, elite troops, getting some of his troops a bit more pumped up, some stun grenades, some Gewehr-43s would add a bit more punch and alarm to break through a bit easier, plus the Tigers, of course, is never half bad. But Jaeger armor, maybe. I mean, a Stuka bombing strike could be helpful, and of course, suppose the Elephant tank destroyer, since there's a chance on ISU-152, and they do seem common, so of course another common choice is to get the Elephant. Well, of course, we'll have to see about that. For the Russians, they need to keep up the pressure, and certainly there's a bit of pressure here upon Longjohns, who's rather, to a certain extent, doing most of the work there. His forces are getting a bit ground down. Looks like, in fact, he's lost a larger chunk of his conscripts and other bits here. And I imagine he's saving up there for the RSU-152. Certainly we'll be having it soon, so not all bad in that department. Keeping up the pressure there will certainly do good. A few mines here and there could also prove advantageous, or maybe saving up for here. In that case, you know, setting up a munitions cache could be a nice idea as well. And for Tombkings, I mean, you know, again, he's also saving up for this, but also note there's actually a bit of difference here in terms of command points. That also sort of gives the idea that, you know, Longjohns has been doing most of the work, and also shows the slight danger of actually playing for these kind of things, because, you know, if you're sort of trying to hold back too much, you're actually going to be held back. And here's the fact, I mean, even with this and all these resources, I mean, he's clearly saving up, but he won't be able to sort of get it out there quickly because there's a massive cooldown. So it'd really been better off if he'd actually been going for an early tank battalion commander, or even a mechanized support company, and getting himself some smaller assault guns, maybe just to fight a bit of axe. So then he could probably get this out faster and could overall have more T-30-45s up sooner. So that's a little fun fact there. But anyways, back to the fight. Back to the fight. Under Russian view now. Panzer IV once more being pulled back for repairs. Grenadiers getting sniped. That sniper's definitely proving himself valuable. 24 kills, Veteran T2. Grenadiers being pushed back by a larger Soviet assault force. Smaller Soviet assault force, to be fair. Though I'm sure the Grenadiers will report it as a larger one. And looks like some air reconnaissance actually going in. And there we go. In fact, a bit of Artillerie Unterstützung going in, I hope. I said Artillerie Unterstützung. Leute! Fire. There we go. There we go. Fire frei. Oh, nice hit right there off the bat again. No line of sight, you actually aim better. Plus, of course, the closer the target is, the less scatter is as well. Mine went off, almost wiping out the comms as well. This Howard is definitely having a good start to the day. And this is, in fact, applying a bit of pressure there. Flak Panzer flanking in, that is good, that is good. Now there's a chance here for a small push in. I mean, you can see that the situation actually bad. There we go, move in the Flak Panzer vorwärts. Blitz the bastards. But now we do see an IC-152 has arrived. Germans could probably have something a bit more intimidating, a bit more aggressive again, but again, to some extent a bit too passive and not too coordinated. Oh well. But a T-35 has arrived as well, pushing through the lines. MD-42, they're close to getting wiped out. This field gun battle has not been accrued. And now the arrival of the Shredder Boy has been announced. They actually decreased the cooldown. It used to be much longer, but oh well. T-35 has arrived again. But it used to be much longer, and the patch notes don't mention that. Maybe that's a bug, I don't know. Anyways, apparently need to fall back. Oh dear, he's not pulling them back. I feel pretty, not perhaps feeling so clever. Not so good. But still pretty. Situation is getting quickly ugly here. S-Man's going up, rather awkward position. I would figure around here would be better. Now that's two MD-42s in enemy territory. He didn't even recruit that one. Come on. Terminator Soviets. Pack 43 here going up. Pretty close range firing. Squad down. That Hauter's definitely doing its part for the Reich. Pack 44 setting up the Schwer Panzer Abwehrkanone. ISU here also doing what he can. Nice there, we see here, setting up for an assault on the flank here. That's good, that is good. Now only a machine gun bank away to cover up the fuel upon there. You should be aware there's tanks moving in. They need to turn the Pack 43, and there we go, slowly turning the entire thing. In fact, this is actually a slightly earlier variant of the Pack 43. The later one actually could turn faster. Had so the same thing there as the Flag 88. This one being more like the out. Anyways, bombing strike going in there. Pack 43 too slow. Panzer IV close going down there. Surprised he didn't turn the frontal armor at the very least. There we go, Veterans 1. There we go. Pack 40 here firing. T-35 kaputt. Wrecked. And Veterans 1 there for the Pack 43. Looks like a strafing run going in there. Almost knocking out there. RG-152 knocking out a house, and there we go. T-35 kaputt. And we are learning here an elephant tank destroyer arriving. And looks like someone went down there. Actually, pretty aggressive move there from the RG-152, but sadly nothing to punish it for it. Both tanks are down here for Tombkings. There's quick to call in another one. Now the Howds are going up. The first one actually having done quite well, so I imagine he's going to quick call in another one, since he wants the same effect. Panzer IV in dire need of repairs. RG-152 firing, but not quite succeeding. Field gun still not recruit. That could have done a bit for them, I feel. Strike down the Pack 40, knocks it out. Howitzer still not there. Pack 43, I think, would turn towards the village. Send 10 fire up on that T-3045, but no, apparently not. Elephant tank start moving. He needs to be careful. Needs to be careful. Stop moving. It's not a tank. I feel pretty. 4-6. Over to Tombkings. Another hit there. Almost got it. Almost got it. Also noting air reconnaissance. If they could combine that, maybe to actually have the howitzer fire on the RC-152 where it stops, they could knock it out. But now Elephant getting flanked in. The flank was not covered. Panzer fast to T-3045. Get a pack up. Howitzer firing elsewhere. Elephant in a lot of trouble. Field gun firing. Light artillery barrels going in. Elephant close to death. Panzer fast hit. Go off but a bit late. And there you go. Elephant actually abandoned. And there you go. T-35 closer going down. Infantry rushing in. RC-152 all the way back in the base. Lot of fire here. Desperate attempt to defend the Elephant. Maybe recruit it. Oh, the Russians are roaring straight at it. Denying it to the Germans. The bastards. And there we go. Elephant kaput. Bit of a waste there. Pushed a bit too hard. Didn't cover the flanks properly. And well, the result is obvious. Still, the RC-152 is a nice target. If they can spot it with the artillery, well, air reconnaissance, and then get off a good shot there with the howitzer, they could knock it out and really do some serious damage to the Russians right there. The Germans do seem to get a bit back more on their feet now. Still not looking too good. They need to strike, and need to strike hard. They certainly feel a bit too defensive at times. There we go, Pack 43 getting off a nice hit. Target weak point would be good, but no, too late, already escaped. Still targeting that ISU-152 would be good. Flak Panther here doing what he can, getting buttoned up though. And looks like he finally got around to recruiting that field gun. Another Panther 4 for Terminator Soviets. I don't think he's firing straight into the enemy base. No, around here it would seem. I'm surprised he's not trying to locate the RC-152 and knock it out with artillery. That would really be, to me at least, a priority thought. Field gun recruit there, gonna need to fall back. Looks like another Soviet strafing run going in. Then they need to get out. No. At least they're getting the victory point. In fact, all 3 victory points are now German. Deutsch. RC-152 still firing again. The artillery not firing on that is a bit of a surprise. He could have probably knocked it out. One solid strike. In fact, now there's just so much infantry around it. I mean, artillery strike right now could probably do serious damage to the Russians. Though again, it's taking some cooldown, so I don't know. Obviously not that straightforward anymore, but still. And now, in fact, it's almost repaired, so that was pretty much their option and chance gone. T-35 disabled. Panzer Force could move in, strike. Wash through here and hit. Never mind. Then it's got wiped out. Germans definitely feel too passive.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands. Fresh units on the field.
Another T-3045. He's definitely calling in a bunch of them. Another Panzer for arriving. No attempt at clearing out that one with lots of punch coming up, like they're going to repair it and fix that engine.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
continue to mortify that. Granatenwerfer is definitely doing a good job in service of Germany. And popping over here to I feel pretty. Probably saving up for another elephant tank destroyer. 3 Panzer Force here, none of them upgraded by the way, charging ahead, they're straight on, not entirely sure that is the wise idea. They do have some artillery support here, that's good. But getting hit by their own artillery is less good. Why are you driving into your own artillery, Terminator Soviets? In particular when you also know there's an ISU-152 that's practically begging to have your tanks knocked out. Let's just briefly pause. How could he have done this better, by the way? How could he have done this better? Well, he could have driven up here, then taken the path up here, and then gotten behind the ISU-152, to at least hit it from the side. Then have the artillery blast away here. Instead, he took to charging straight up here, knowing a lot of defences, and also his own artillery strike going on at the exact same time. In fact, taking several hits from it, that's not good. That is, in fact, very bad. That was a not very well executed assault right there, but just wanted to point out and again point out what could have been done better, at least in my own opinion. At least the Germans are beginning to hold a bit more territory, but they seem to be wobbling a bit around now.
Yeah.
Like a hamster that's been overfed and not entirely sure what's going on. Russians there charging straight into an MG42. Like hamsters led to the slaughter. What's up with all these hamster metaphors? Anyways, there we go. MG42 just firing away. Incendiary rounds really devastating. In particular, veteranly fleeing back. This MG42 has 36 kills. Good heavens, Helmut. But within range of the ISU-152 needs to pull back. The loss of such a heroic crew. Oh, well, never mind. Noting here, a second howitzer going up. Is he now firing into the base? Yes, indeed. Hoping to get some kills there. It would seem. Still surprised he's not trying to knock out the ISU-152. I mean, with 2 howitzers, he could try with a combined artillery barrage combined with some air reconnaissance and then basically try to knock it out. I mean, that could work, to be honest. Instead, he seems a bit more intent on bombarding the enemy's base now, hoping to get some kills there. Which does seem to be slightly working. Ever so lightly. Lightest infantry gets Schutzbeweis going down then the center victory point. Looks like someone turned this done to meet. Units getting, well, pretty much slaughtered there on the retreat. And that was that badass. T-35 fast rolling up. It looks like they might be setting up for some sort of assault on the flank. And again, looks like some Canadians got punished. And the flak panzer's just really taking in of its 37mm gun. Oh, quick button up there. ISU-152 moving, and we're noting here a second elephant arriving here for I feel pretty. Another Schwerer Panzerjäger. Though far from the most common one, that would have been the NAS one, in fact, I think to a certain extent. At least on the eastern front. On the western front, that was pretty much the Yak Panther, which barely saw any action on the eastern front, by the way. Whoa, massive strike there, really taking out a lot of Russian infantry. 29 kills there, that was definitely a lot of death. Direct hit on the Pack 40. But still, I mean, it's to a certain extent blind firing again. I can't help but feel the better option would be trying to knock out that or some other defences. I think that would do a lot more for the Germans in the longer run. In particular, since they can't always know there's anything here. At the very least, you should use some air reconnaissance to get a better idea of what there is and what to shoot at.
It's done. How can we help?
And there you go, looks like some sort of armored assault Panzer force are preparing. There's encountering a large Russian infantry force, although rather thrashed already due to those incoming artillery strikes.
Grenadiers ready.
Lots of T-30-45s arriving here. Veterans 3, by the way, in this Pack 43, that's definitely going to be a nasty piece of work for any Russians. She's shooting straight into the base again. No attempt at even dealing with the IC-152 or something else. Can't help but feel that's a rather lazy tactic. With the least rewards, and also essentially just blind firing like that is generally always the least effective way of using a tank, even when it's into the base. In particular when they don't know where anything is. And again, scouting out the IC-152 really would be a main priority if it were me. Something's going on here, mine's going down. An elephant there. I'm not sure why it's moving around like that. Careful. Well, the con's going in, but still taking a hit there. Careful though. Armour engagement here, 3 T-35 plus 3 pairs of force, and particularly one here caught in a rather bad spot. Pack 43 not within range of support, by the way. Panzer 4 down. And he's actually moving his elephant ahead blindly. Stuka bombing strike, nice idea, but perhaps not so well executed. Not when there's already something else going on, and all of his focus is on the IC-152. I mean, that's not really the best way to get off such an ability like that. In fact, it's quite the opposite, because your opponent will already be there, ready to sort of pick ship away. And there we go. Poor elephant tank destroyer usage. Poor elephant tank destroyer usage. Resulting in it being knocked out there rather disgracefully. It is not a tank. It should not be sent in unsupported. Pioneers being wiped out there. Another IC-152 arriving there.
Stuka, fueled and ready to fly.
Where's he firing? And now he's trying to get the IC-152. Now he's trying to it. I mean, that's a bit bloody late, mate. In particular, when you don't know where it exactly is, get some air reconnaissance in then and blast it to bits. Get some air reconnaissance in. Target the infernal machine using that. Don't just fire blind. We can see a larger soda sort setting up there, taking points there. Rather learning it, and we're also seeing the Pack 44 setting up. At the same time, it's not necessarily that well set up. I mean, a large part of the arc of fire is being taken up by this small forest. You should actually angle it like this, because there's not going to be a lot of armor moving up there, I think. Rather here, so it has a better angle. Otherwise, I mean, it's going to be very easy for them to get out of the angle of fire of the Pack 43, and they actually need to keep churning. So setting up like this, and the center right around here would be much better. Again, they're not going to be moving straight through the forest, mate. Oh dear.
Standing by.
And he's just firing blind. He's trying to catch shadows rather than trying to find where are they actually right now, and then shoot that. He doesn't quite seem to know the power of his weapons and how to get the most out of it. Infantry charge here massively, and again, note how easily it was to avoid that. He just needs to know, oh, where's it angled? Oh, right, I'll just move straight over here. Had it not been angled like that, he could probably have had a chance of shooting that, but instead, also plus nothing really to cover against that, but still, I would say that was the least of the worries. Bombing strike going in, knocking out one howitzer. Panzer 4 down, kaput. IC-152's moving down here. Packs and field guns there. They could perhaps try and flank, though that would be a bit risky still. Panzer 4's down. Terminator Surge Force is getting absolutely massacred. Pack 43 here, getting off good shots there. But again, too easily outmaneuvered in the end. Command bunker being wrecked.
They're getting behind us!
Pack 40 and Fugans here firing. Target the weak point. Target the weak point. Oh dear. Always use target the weak point if you can. Bet you 2 T-30-35 and rather this is pretty much the end. Two RC-152, 2 T-35s in the base and all that. And let's just end it here because it's not really going any well. And well, the last two comments certainly won't help either. So there we go, game over. Perhaps not the most spectacular of 2 vs 2, but still highlighting some interesting issues. We saw some okay play sometimes from the Germans, but there's also a lot of more strategic tactical mistakes. Not the novice mistakes, but sort of more intermediate. Well, I've got some idea what I'm doing, but I've not got an idea of the higher level. Problems in part, was in fact priorities, and again, also not very effective artillery usage. There was really a lot of artillery wasted there, which again, had he prioritized, I think, getting that IG-152 a lot sooner, he could have definitely done a lot more to harm the Russians, and they probably could even have won. I mean, that was one major issue, and to some extent, they were also too defensive. They were too quick to dig in some departments when they probably could have pushed out harder. Not enough over here. A lack of mines did not help either, and Terminator so was too heavy on the support weapons, and then not really clear on their usage. I mean, he should have leapfrogged with them to sort of better had a chance of, not running into some Russians blindly and then getting knocked out there. And in particular, that early game, that did not help them whatsoever. So there's some issues there. Also, that elephant usage being used like a tank, not good either. That was too risky and not very strong either. And then certainly combined with a not very solid commander usage. I mean, officer could easily have helped, I think, Terminator Soviets, and I feel pretty, maybe he should have gone for elite troops or something else. And to a certain extent, I'm a bit surprised, they didn't try to at least have one aim for the higher tier and get out, say, some Panthers or Sturm Panzer IV, which I think could also help them. And of course, another issue was that direct assault up here, so there's some problems there for the Germans, quite a few. I mean, in the end, they did some damage. In fact, they did more damage than the Russians, so it's not all bad, so they also killed more, but there were some problems again. I think that artillery could have been used a lot better, same with the Pak 43. Some nice ideas here, but at the same time, he should have aimed that Pak 43 better, and he should have probably also been expecting them at least to try and not drive straight at them, unlike him. I mean, that was a well done, by the way, executed assault there by Tombkings. He didn't just drive straight at it, he took a longer route. Sometimes the longer route that slightly arcs is much better than the one going directly up here. Again, had he arced up here with his Panther and hit from here, for example, things could have gone a lot better. I'm pretty confident of that. So, I mean, keep that in mind as well when conducting your assaults, and also, keep in mind, priority targets, all that. Anyways, this is Imperial Dane saying cheers. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. If you did, why not subscribe? Tell your friends. Share with everyone. And donations are also welcome. Links for that are in the description. And, if you did, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.